Welcome back. I'm here with National Award-winning author Jeffery Schatzer, and you are actually the National Writer Series Writers Next Door Spotlight for May.
Right.
Pretty big deal.
Very excited about that.
Now we're going to talk about your new book, Professor Tuesday's Awesome Adventures in History, and this is book 3. So this is the Underground Railroad. You do a lot of writing for kids, basically about history. Kind of tell me what goes into that.
Well, the fascinating part for a writer, I think, is the research and discovering from older history books and original documentation some of the things that history teaches us. You know, if we don't learn history, we're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
Though that has a good side and a bad side, because there are some wonderful things from history that we need to remember. For example, in the Underground Railroad, slavery undoubtedly was one of the most tragic elements of our nation's history. But the fact of the matter is that you had the southern states that were the slave states and the northern states that were the free states. But even in those days, if a slave managed to escape, especially after 1850 with the Fugitive Slave Act, people in the North could be prosecuted and were prosecuted for helping slaves. And so the real story of the Underground Railroad in the Midwest was a story of cooperation between all people, between black and white and green and yellow and blue, and between all religions. Most people think it was just the Quakers. No, there were Lutherans and Baptists and Methodists and all sorts of people gathered together to do the right thing. So one of the messages about the Underground Railroad, specifically in the Midwest, is that there was this amazing cooperation between people to do what was right.
Definitely.
And so that's a message, but also you look at some of the major characters in history like Frederick Douglass. Well, his real, his belief was that reading and writing helped him immeasurably to understand his condition as a slave, but also helped him to escape to freedom. And so part of what Frederick Douglass taught, in addition to anti-slavery messages, and he was very in favor of women's rights also because he worked with Susan B. Anthony in upstate New York, but he also preached the message of the importance of reading and writing. And so what I try to do is I research history, and then I try to tell those stories that we need to learn.
Definitely. And you have some other books here as well, The Elves and Santa's Workshop, and you're actually featured in some of these books too.
Pretty crazy.
I said you had a striking resemblance to Saint Nick, so it's very cool that you're featured in some of these books. You do a lot of writing, obviously, for history, and you also develop some school programs as well. So where can we find some of your books?
Well, my books are available certainly via Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble, and I have my own website, Big Belly Books, which is sort of about my physical condition, but it's a fun thing to write, and I'm really pleased to be part of the National Writer Series.